Your school decided to become a thinking school a while ago. What motivated you to join this project?
I saw an article in the newspaper. It was your article, and with Dr. Steph Esterhazen in the picture as well, talking about the 6 thinking hats. I thought this would be wonderful. This would appeal to the young children. Well, the moment I introduced it to the children, they were excited. They loved the hats. Very spontaneous. They were very happy about it, and that's when I thought that this would work very, very well with the grade R children.
Okay, and how did you experience the whole process? Was it difficult for you to start infusing this hat strategy into your normal teaching?
No, it wasn't at all difficult to put it into the teaching. We needed to prepare our lessons quite well, like the way we always prepare our lessons. That's how I just infused it I incorporated it. Especially in the beginning, I did it in our story time activity, which worked wonderful, very well with the young children.
And in terms of support, did you find that support was sufficient to guide you in infusing this properly into your learning plans?
Yes, in the beginning, when I just initiated this program into our school, I received lots of support from Professor Steph Esterhazen and yourself. And in the first year, which was wonderful, I appreciated it very much.
What strategies did your school choose to implement, and why exactly those strategies?
I thought in terms of the young children, the 6-year-old children, and therefore I said that these hats will really appeal to them, and this is how they place the meaning to the hat. And when they place the meaning to the hat, they are able to then analyze their thinking in terms of the hats, and this is what appeals to young children.
And what are the changes that you have noticed specifically among your learners since you have started using this thinking hats during teaching?
Okay, I have noticed lots of changes. I do have the young children for 1 year only. I noticed the difference from the beginning of the term and at the end of the term. What I find happens is that they are much more confident. They ask a lot of questions, and they explore a lot with their thoughts. They seem to get able to debate in classroom at this young age, and normally I found in the previous years it used to be very difficult to get young children to debate in classroom. You find them debating about news in classroom. They are debating even about the story time in classroom among themselves, and this happens like towards the end of the year. And this is when I know that this thinking hat strategy has come to fruition.
And if you had to motivate other schools to become part of the Thinking Schools project, would you do so, and what would you say to them?
Okay, I would certainly encourage them to introduce this technique and to use it in school, because it works well. It works well with the young children, and it also teaches them how to analyze from a very young age. It teaches them how to be able to think about their thoughts from a young age. It also empowers teachers in school, because teachers are able to have an excellent conversation with children in classroom. Even their lessons are they have quality in the lesson, and they have good speech and good thoughts in the lesson, and that is what we are trying to inculcate in our young children.
Sanet, your school has been involved in the Thinking Schools project since 2012. What motivated your school to become part of this project?
Mary, Albert Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results. Our school came at a point where we had to decide what the future of our children and for us as teachers are. And we had to make a decision regarding what we want for our children. How do we see our children in 18 years' time when they leave school? Together with the teachers and the parents of the school and the learners, we came up with a plan that was introduced to us by the university, or the Northwest University, and they taught communities of high level thinking and critical thinking. So this is how we got involved. And we decided we want to send our children in the world who are critical thinkers, who has responsibility, who has a higher level of thinking, and has self-confidence.
Sanet, your school has chosen 3 different strategies so far. You started with the thinking hats, and simultaneously you infused some attitudes and dispositions, and now you've also added the thinking maps. Why specifically those strategies?
The thinking maps, or the thinking hats, at the beginning appeal to us because it's a visual strategy that the children can use to enhance their way of thinking. It's something that they connect a better level of thinking to everyday questions. The hats taught them that the ordinary when, where and what questions can be supported by higher level thinking questions like why, or what if, or what could the alternative be in this situation questions. The attitudes and accuracy that we had with habits of mind were very important to combine with the hats, because we saw children had to be taught how to be accurate. Children have to be taught how to be on time. Children can be taught to start something and end off the specific task. We implemented the MAP strategy in 2014. We used this strategy because it's a good link to the HAT strategy. It's a way of teaching children to summarize their work and to visualize and solving problems.
And what are the changes that you've noticed so far among the learners since you have used these new strategies?
At the beginning, we did pre-tests on the children to see what their level of answering was, how capable were they in answering questions. We noticed that the answering methods were very limited. And after a year, when we probed the same questions to another group, it was actually extraordinary to see that these answers were more motivated. They were able to move from a factual answer to motivation at the end of the day.
If you had to motivate another school to join this project, would you do so? And what would you say to them? Why should they join?
What is nice about this project is that it is concrete results that you can see. All the things that we've implemented have shown some successes. It's important that keep your team together and to motivate your teachers all the time. But at the end of the day, we have to make a decision. Are we going to be bystanders and onlookers and let our children be swapped up in a world that's ordinary? Or are we going to make a change? The ball is in our hands. We can make this change. And with Thinking Schools, this change is much easier to make than to walk the path alone.